I'm Heather, and this is my pregnancy journal week by week. Today is week 5, so I'm actually day 1 of week 6, so I just finished the 5th week of pregnancy. As of right now, the baby is the size of an orange seed. It's crazy to think that technically we're at the beginning of month 2 when I just found out that we are expecting. So week 5, the baby is looking more like a tadpole, but they do say that the tail, because the baby has a tail now, will eventually disappear and turn into a cute little butt. So fingers crossed. This week also, a tiny micro heart has developed and it started pumping blood to the little embryo. So obviously blood flow is essential. Without blood flow, all of the organs and everything else can't develop. So that little tiny heart is the most important thing. Now also a digestive system is starting to form. Things that I'm feeling this week, my boobs are kind of sore. Not like crazy sore, like I want to cut my boobs off, but they are tender. And just like light, intermittent, dull crampiness. It's just kind of like period cramps, but not as severe. So cravings this week, not sure if it's actually like cravings, like I need it right now, but things that I find myself going more towards are like salty, vinegary things, definitely like banana peppers, salt and vinegar chips, salsa with like homemade salsa with vinegar, definitely shrimp. I've been eating a lot of shrimp and my husband's been yelling at me for that because supposedly you're not supposed to eat too much seafood. And tacos. I love tacos. So I haven't noticed any body changes yet. Definitely how I'm feeling emotionally. I feel like my emotions are kind of like swinging around, just like before you get your pregnancy, just like before you get your period, when you're kind of very emotional. It's the same thing. Crying, yelling, you know, being a female. This week, more investigating into like what can I buy, what can I do, something that I can have in my hands to make me feel that I'm doing something with my pregnancy. So I went on Amazon and I bought this book. It's called Bump for Joy. So it's like a little journal also. It says pregnancy journal that I can fill out during my week by week, you know, of pregnancy. So it just goes through like, and I really like this one page. It is the countdown to baby. So it's first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. And you fill in the days. So week 1 would be November 25th. And then it kind of like, so you have a visual of when does second trimester start. So our second trimester will start February 17th. And then third trimester begins June 2nd. And then obviously we calculated the due date to be August 25th. So right now we're at week 5. And then it just goes through preconception to, you know, about your life and what you expect your pregnancy to be like. First trimester, second trimester, third trimester, labor and delivery, and just how you're feeling and photos and everything about your pregnancy. So I feel that this is going to be one of my favorite books throughout pregnancy. Oh, I also got an app so that I could start taking weekly pictures of my bump, which I don't have yet, but to have that app to kind of like start going through it and put together photos. They have stickers that you can put on the photos of my baby is this size and it's the size of this, or you know how I'm feeling. And then obviously when the baby's born you can still use that same app. I think it's like $4.99 and you get all access to everything, so that was a good one. So far this week I'm realizing more that I have to alter my diet, cutting out sushi, any raw fish. Definitely have to watch meats, make sure that they're cooked all the way. So I'm definitely missing sushi, and I make my husband eat the sushi and I watch him eat it and I salivate. And also, you know, obviously you can't drink, so seeing him have a drink makes me kind of miss sitting on the couch with a glass of wine watching TV, or an occasional margarita, or, you know, meeting out on the border and stuffing my face with chips and salsa and having a margarita with an extra shot and a mini Coronita in it. So yeah, I'm just gonna daydream about those things. Another thing to consider is going the more organic route, being more choosy with the foods that we buy, which isn't something that we normally would have done, but to make that change and obviously learning how important organic is definitely tough, but it's a change for the better. So we're gonna see how we do with the organic, and I know that the baby's development is at its peak right now, the most important thing, so to give it the best nutrients and less pesticides and negative things is for the better. Also, another thing is increasing my water intake. Didn't think it would be so hard to stay hydrated, but being a nurse and running around and constantly being busy at work, to stop and think to drink water is not always the easiest thing. So I got myself this bottle. It does have a 32-ounce mark, so if I drink about 3 of these a day, that would, to me, seems like enough water. Occasionally I've just been able to get 2 down, so I don't know. I gotta get more water in me. Another thing is, you know, finding something to comfort you. And for me, I've seen myself thinking more about faith and something to believe in. So I did buy this necklace that I am going to wear during my pregnancy. It's a Saint Gerard necklace. So he is the saint of pregnancy and conception and infants. So I, you know, wear that, and I find myself just looking at that and feeling it and knowing that it's there to comfort myself, in hopes that everything goes smoothly and as planned, especially for, you know, when we make our first appointment, and, you know, to hear that heartbeat for the first time and everything be going in the right direction. The things that are comforting to me right now are continuously peeing on sticks. Not like every day, but every so often, just to make sure that it's still there. You know, that line is still there and getting darker. So that is definitely comforting. And then also to, you know, discuss with my husband who we're going to tell and when we're going to tell. Or we were going to try and tell them all on Christmas. Didn't work out too well with my family, so we decided to wait and do it the day after Christmas. But Christmas Day, we were so nervous. My husband was pacing around and sweating, and he eventually did tell everyone in his family on Christmas Day. And then the next day I had to go to work. On Tuesday, came home very anxious, and ended up telling my family, which is my dad, my mom, and my 2 brothers. So the anxiety of, you know, just telling our family actually ended up giving me a cold sore. That's another symptom that I'm not too fond of right now. I've gotten 2 cold sores, and usually I only get them maybe like once or twice a year when the seasons change or when I'm stressed out. So I did get one when we were trying to conceive, and now again when we had to tell people. Not that I was scared or anything, I just was excited and anxious and had so many emotions flowing through me that, boop, little bastard. On December 26th, we also were able to call the OBGYN and make our first doctor's appointment. Yes! So, I mean, getting that out of the way and getting an appointment scheduled is definitely a good feeling. It's scheduled for January 10th. So, it's quite a ways to wait, but another part of me tells myself that, you know, the longer we wait, the more chance of hearing a heartbeat during that visit when they do the ultrasound. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to most. After telling family, both of our, you know, immediate families, we decided that, well, I decided that I need to tell someone else that's not family. So we each decided that we needed to tell one friend, and we would keep it at, you know, a low number until we reach our appointment and we hear a heartbeat. Because, I mean, telling everyone, it is exciting, but then you also question, what if something does happen? And yes, I would want to tell all of my friends what I was going through, whether it was good or bad, but then as you start to think about it more, then you start to think, okay, well, we're only 2.5 weeks away from that appointment, 2 weeks, and then, you know, it starts to get closer and closer, and once you have that confirmation and that ultrasound photo to show them, it just becomes more of an excitement to tell your friends. So I think that when it approaches and that happens, I'm going to be very excited to tell all of my close friends the good news. Right now, obviously, the hardest part about being pregnant is keeping the secret, this big secret that no one knows but us and family, and obviously being at work and walking around, and especially when you're feeling super tired and you can't tell anybody. I find myself almost slipping at little instances and then catching myself and not complaining. So, I mean, there's not much to complain about because I am feeling pretty good, just very tired. As of right now, according to one of the apps, it said that it was a blob of cells. So as of right now, we call the baby Blob or Blobby, which is not the greatest name, but not cute like Bean or something, but Blobby. So my husband will occasionally text me, hey, how are you feeling? How's Blobby doing? And it's our little inside, you know, laughter, because I'm not ready to call it a baby because I'm not confident yet. Well, I'm confident, but just, you know, like I said again, I want to hear that heartbeat. Blob. Blobby it is. So things that I'm nervous about, obviously, we said about the first appointment. And then also, you know, you do still have some discharge when you're pregnant, and that's completely normal. So anytime I feel anything, I get this urge to run to the bathroom and just make sure that it's not my period. And that's kind of a horrible feeling, and I wonder when that will stop. But I find myself just always being nervous and anxious. And what are you gonna do? How has my husband been during this process? He has been awesome. He's been reading his book that I got him. He downloaded all the apps. He even purchased some of them just to be on the same page. Even the virtual ones, he really likes that you can kind of swing it around and see what the baby looks like. I think the one is called Sprout. That's a really cool app. And every day he kind of says, ooh, you know, today it's the size of this, and you know, these things are happening. So we're both on the same page, and I really love that. He makes me bone broth and puts it in a cup and hands it to me. He does a lot of sweet things. He's just a sweetheart. We also have a dog. His name is Finn. He's a Lab Border Collie mix. And I feel that before or right when we became pregnant, he just knows. He was actually the first person I told. I whispered it into his ear. I was like, I think I'm pregnant. And I knew he couldn't tell anybody, so it was like our little secret. But he's my baby before the baby, and I just think he knows. So I'm not really showing at all. They say you won't show for, I don't know, maybe till after your first trimester's over. So I will start videoing what my belly looks like week by week also to let you know how I'm growing. So that's week 5 of pregnancy for me. I'll see you next week.